What a great game we saw yesterday at the Metropolitano. Atletico Madrid beating Real Madrid 4-2 in extra time. It's like a giant Atleti.
That is correct. Yes. Well done, Dan.
Griezmann at the heart of everything that was good for Simeone's side. On the call for us was Stuart Robson. Stuart, you do a lot of rubbish games. This wasn't one of them.
It certainly wasn't. I wouldn't say the quality was at the very highest. I've seen both teams play much better football over the course of the season, but it was intriguing, it was exciting, there was lots of twists and turns, it got feisty in the second half, and of course we saw that great goal from Griezmann, who you said everything that Atletico did, he was at the heart of. I didn't think he played particularly well in the 90 minutes. He was a bit ineffective, he dropped a bit too deep, but when he went and played right up front, as he did when Morata went off, then he looked a different player, and it was a great goal from him. Good pace, he did everything right, the finish, and it was a fitting that won the game, really.
Here is the big question, Ali.
Yeah.
What is it that Atleti have got that no other opponents who've played Real Madrid this season have got, because they've played them twice, of course, at home, and they've lost on both occasions?
I think this version of Atletico Madrid, what they do is that they threaten Real Madrid, given the fact that they do have enough quality in the attack to pose a threat to Real Madrid. And the question would have been, would Atletico Madrid be willing to attack Real Madrid? They would have been encouraged by their performance in the semi-final of the Spanish Supercopa and say, you know what? When we attack Real Madrid, going back to that first game of the season as well that you just mentioned there, when we attack Real Madrid, we cause them problems. We cause them issues. We have enough quality in the attack to go and take a chance going forward. Now, obviously, that's a question that we all asked ourselves, why doesn't Atletico Madrid do this more often? And the answer is very clear. It's whether Diego Simeone frees this team up to say, go and get it. And I think what we have seen in the games against Real Madrid in particular is that there's been a shift from Diego Simeone, noticeably so, in saying, yeah, we're not just going to absorb pressure. We're not just going to sit deep. We'll defend well, but when we got a chance to go, we're all going to go. And we're going to add numbers in the attack, and we're going to have overlapping runs, and we're going to have people that are willing to run out of the midfield and from wide areas. And Real Madrid have proven that they're a team right now that is vulnerable defensively. So in the case of Atletico Madrid, what have they done that everybody else hasn't? They've exposed the frailties from Real Madrid that are there. And they're obvious to see, and if you attack them in flank areas, they have issues. And if you put enough services in the box, they have issues. If you test both these goalkeepers, you have issues. You continue to do that, you get...
I mean, let's be honest. They've won a game. Come on.
Really? You don't want to give them any credit?
We're talking about Atletico Madrid here as if they've just won something.
But I mean,
come on.
But they beat Real Madrid, who are unbeaten.
Yeah, it's a derby. Derbies are won and lost a lot of the time on getting in the opposition's face and not giving them time and having a go at them and all the things that that Ali was talking about there. That, you know, you're at home, it's a derby, and you're playing against a side that does have vulnerability. We know. Ali said it defensively with the keeper, the two centre backs. So when you get the opportunity, you should be having a go at them, and so. Yes, they deserve credit, but come on. It should be more about, well, hold on a second, why can this team not do this on a consistent basis?
No. Well, they can consistently. Consistently, they can, obviously, at home.
Where are they sitting in the league?
No, exactly, but that's their away form.
Right,
they've
so that's why...
The driving part of this is just the fact that they seem to have something about them that gets them past Real Madrid this season.
Derby. I'm telling you, it's the derby. Having played in derbies... Sometimes it's not the best team that's going to win a derby because of the whole circumstance, the whole atmosphere, depending on the time of the season where you're playing somebody. And there's so many different reasons that when you throw it all in the pot, derbies are sometimes unpredictable. And yes, you've got to give them praise for winning a game, and yes, give them praise for having a goal. But I think we should calm down. I mean, they've won a game.
They won a game. They're now favourites to go and win the cup.
Okay.
but what we can agree is that yesterday was a different version of Atletico Madrid than one.
Don't appease him.
Oh,
all right, the favourites to win the cup, right? But the problem is, you don't know. Would you put your mortgage on them winning it?
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely,
I think so. Steve.
Absolutely.
You look at it and look who's left. I think they've definitely got it.
play with a freedom, though, with Atleti that he doesn't really do elsewhere. He's just comfortable.
Right.
And there's no pressure on him. You know, he didn't help himself with the stupid video and everything before he went to Barca, because all that does is puts more pressure on you. And then when you don't deliver and you're walking into a place where they expect you straight away to be doing the type of thing he did in this game all the time, and he couldn't handle that. He has no pressure. It just seems there's no pressure on him. He's got a freedom to go and play, and that's why at times, like he did with that goal, regardless of whether it's good or bad defending, he's taking advantage of it, and it's a sensational finish.
You mentioned freedom. There was, in the time that Antoine Griezmann was at Barcelona, there was only one player in the whole wide world, in that team in Barcelona, that was going to have the freedom to do whatever he wanted, and that was Lionel Messi. And guess what? If you're a manager and you're going to give freedom to anybody in your team, and Lionel Messi is part of that team, there's no question. Leo, you do whatever you want. Antoine Griezmann did not have that option at Barcelona, and he spent a lot of the time defending and covering spaces. And by the time he was asked to go forward and asked to be a player that was going to produce, he wasn't comfortable enough to do it because, again, that freedom that Stevie was talking about was never there.
Meanwhile, last thing on this, Carlo Ancelotti after the game said no one deserved to lose. We gave our all. I think in the end there's nothing to reproach. We have to look ahead. We leave this game with good sensations. Overall, Robbo, it's kind of like, right, Copa del Rey is low down when you think of La Liga and the Champions League in Real Madrid's list of priorities. They would have had to play again, of course, next midweek, if they indeed had got past Atleti. Is this some sort of, could I sell this as a blessing in disguise?
No, I think they wanted to win it badly. I think it was against Atletico Madrid. They were desperate to win the game. They're disappointed they're out the cup. But what I would say about Real Madrid, they played some very good football at times. They looked threatening on the counter-attack. There was some great movement, but they conceded bad goals, and he can't be happy with that. The goalkeeper made a bad error for one of them. They get a bit unlucky and they get outnumbered at the far post with a deflection when it goes off Rudiger, and Carvajal's looking the wrong way at one point, and Lunin, I don't think, covers himself in glory. So there was lots of areas that they did well, but he can't be happy with the defensive play. And that's what Ali was talking about. Real Madrid, at the moment, are vulnerable defensively at times.